So we got some updates on the Jussie Smollett story. It takes me a while to produce some of these videos. So on my main channel today, we talked about TMZ being really annoying. No, we talked about Jussie Smollett. Jussie Smollett criminal case was dropped. Now I'm doing a follow-up after the fact with TMZ in their timeline. I want to point out, this is a breaking story, and a lot of the information is BS. For those that didn't catch the initial video I made on my main channel, all charges. It was only about 20 days ago we saw 16 felony indictments against Jussie Smollett. All gone. Everybody is upset. Now you've got a bunch of this is the craziest thing. This is a really, really dangerous moment in the culture war, and I think this should keep this in mind, right? You've got with the Mueller report, vindication for Trump. Now with Jussie Smollett criminal case being dropped, you've got the state's attorney, assistant state's attorney, saying this is not an exoneration, just like the Mueller report said it didn't exonerate Trump on obstruction. Both sides claiming it is. You now have people on the left saying, oh my God, Jussie is innocent. In all likelihood, he wasn't. But you could essentially argue, so here's what's crazy to me. I know what is true, right? Like, so do you. You see the news, you see the video, you know it's true. This is a really interesting phenomenon happening right now, coming just after the Mueller report dropped. Because you have Bill Maher saying, I don't need the report. I see it on TV. I know what Trump has done. And now you have very similarly with Jussie Smollett, people saying, no way, we saw the photos, we saw the videos. Skepticism. Skepticism always. There's some interesting things being brought up. So we'll read through this, and I want to go through, while I'm definitely still going to be on the side of, I think Jussie Smollett perpetrated a hoax, you've got to, I try to recognize with all of the Mueller people, all the Russiagators, I'm like, man, they saw the news for years. They were convinced. Maybe the media was wrong. That's really important. You know, you see a story in the news, your confirmation bias hits you and you're like, it must be true. And that's how they got roped into that conspiracy. Not going to happen to me. Maybe it already did, but I'm going to be skeptical. All right, so let's read this. Let's see what's going on. Rahm Emanuel is very strongly hinting at corruption in the state's attorney's office, calling the decision to drop the charges against Smollett a whitewash of justice. I agree. But what do we have right now with the Mueller situation? Democrats saying, no way, this is Barr's a hoax. It is crazy. I'm just going to say it one more time. I will not be in that position. I will accept we don't know what's going on here, and we're going to read through it to figure out what's true and what isn't. Fox says Smollett has always maintained his innocence. What I want to try and find here is a few bits of important information that was highlighted. First, the first assistant state's attorney who was placed in charge of the case, he said it was not an exoneration. Okay, that's what's from my original video. This is a really poorly put together article. Let me try and, this is terrible. What is this? Oh, it's Pacific time. That's why. So one of the things that's important is that they're saying some of the evidence was botched, right? This is TMZ, however, so, you know, let me, there we go. A source close to Jussie says the prosecution's case disintegrated. As we reported, there were issues with the $3,500 check the two brothers Ola and Abel Osundairo received from Jussie. The police superintendent had said the money was payment for the attack, but it appears it was actually for physical training. Now, the check did say for physical training, but what is their evidence? Let's read this real quick while this other page loads. Jussie and many others were hurt by these unfair and unwarranted actions. Excuse me. This entire situation is a reminder that there should never be an attempt to prove a case in the court of public opinion. We get it. It's wrong. Here's a question I have. This image, we were told by law enforcement, Chicago police, local journalists, this is the Osundairo brothers. All of the evidence we got, everything came from the police. It could be wrong. We don't want to just outright trust the police. So what do we have here? Now, even the state's attorney said that, police are saying they're furious. Even the state's attorney said it was not an exoneration. We've got weird stuff happening with Kim Foxx recusing herself, an Obama aide stepping in. Let's take a look at what they think is flimsy evidence. TMZ reported $3,500 check and text showing training fee call police claim into question. And this was February 24th. So this was before he was indicted on 16 counts. Like, how do we get this? How do we get this far? Smollett has hard evidence to support his claim. This Chicago police superintendent got it wrong when he told the media the actor paid $3,500 to stage the attack. TMZ has obtained documents that on the surface back the claim. The check he wrote to Abel was for training. The check was written to Abel on January 23rd, 2019, 6 days before the attack. The memo line reads, 5-week nutrition workout program, don't go. That doesn't mean anything. literally means nothing. If he was going to give the check to them to pay him for an attack, he's not going to write in lieu of payment for you physically attacking me in a hoax. No, he's going to write something like this. Sources connected to Jussie tell us the reference to Don't Go is a song for which Jussie was shooting to shoot a music video featuring himself shirtless. The sources say Jussie had gained weight. He was 192 pounds and needed to lose 20 pounds for the shoot. And that's why he hired Abel, whom he says he calls Bon. There are various texts starting from January 20th between Jussie and Bon. On January 28th before the attack, Bon wrote, "I know you're traveling today. Make sure you get at least 45 minutes of cardio." Another text on January 20th outlines a menu for the day, including chicken thigh, etc. You also see a text showing a calendar where February 23rd is marked Don't Go. The sources say that's the date of the music video shoot. There's another screenshot from September 27th, 2018, presumably showing Jussie has paid Ola in the past. It's a Venmo payment of $100 to Bola for training. Sources connected to Jussie say the $3,500 breakdown is $600 a week for the workout plan for 5 weeks and $100 a week for the nutrition plan for 5 weeks. Okay, right. I want to point out, okay, that's gross, but I want to point out, if Jussie was going to stage a hoax, he'd just do it this way. He'd go to someone he trusted, someone he worked with, and had paid for in the past. They say this is not proof the attack wasn't staged, but in a trial, all the defense has to do is create reasonable doubt. And we're told the police superintendent's pronouncement will become a defense weapon if the case goes to trial. The police superintendent also said during the news conference, Jussie himself sent the racist letter 8 days before the attack. Federal law enforcement sources tell us they have not concluded who wrote the letter, at least not yet. So why did Jussie Smollett get off? The police are outraged. They claim they have more evidence. It may actually turn out, and I think you should absolutely consider the possibility, that the police were overzealous and it resulted in the prosecution being put in a very precarious position. All you need is reasonable doubt. That's true. And if that's the case, then Smollett created a reasonable doubt. He did have, so it's either the perfect crime or the prosecution knew that they were in trouble. Whether or not there's any corruption, we don't know. There's some interesting things, like we heard that an Obama aide was trying to interfere. Kim Foxx recused herself. The police are furious. But I can't help but feel like, as I mentioned earlier in this video, we're on the other side right now of the Mueller investigation. You had all these people for years seeing stories in the news and they believed it. There were a lot of people who thought that the police could be lying, a lot of activists. I will say, though, even John Oliver ran segments saying, that alluding to the fact Jussie Smollett staged this hoax. You had primetime, high-profile, people saying that Smollett perpetrated this hoax. But these same people claimed that there was evidence of collusion. And these people were watching MSNBC. These people were watching CNN. And they thought the media is telling the truth. This is true. This is reality. Something happens. Mueller comes out and says, nope. And now people on the left, that's the next video I'm going to do following up on what's going on with Mueller, are freaking out saying that it can't be real. Bill Barr is lying. It's a conspiracy. We now literally have the same thing on the other side. And what do you believe? Now, I want to believe I saw the photos. I saw the media. I saw the two brothers in that shop, right? We see the photo of these two guys, and then I think about it. I don't know who these two guys are. The police just said that's who it was. I don't know who sent this letter. We were just told by TMZ, by these outlets, that he sent it to himself. The police said they believed he sent it to himself. Maybe the police were wrong. Is that all we had to go on? So if the police had more evidence and could convict him, and now the case is sealed, we'll probably never know. And that is a damn travesty. At the same time, we should have, in my opinion, the Mueller report should be made public, assuming, I understand there's a challenge, right? There's confidential information, there's things of that nature, but it should probably be made public. This is rather mind-blowing to me, because I feel like I know, and I'm sure you guys feel like you know, that Smollett did this. We saw the news over and over again. Maybe the news was wrong. Maybe the check really was for training. Maybe we were misled by the media the same as they were. Now, admittedly, look, this story is much smaller. This was a big spike in the press within the past, couple months, and it played a big role in the culture war. But it's not nearly the same of 2 years of conspiracy parroting nonstop about these crazy things. And now we've got, this check, which falls in line with what Smollett had already been paying them. Here's the weird thing, though. Smollett's attorney said it was the Osendairos. They indicated they attacked him. There you go. Why? None of this makes sense, does it? I don't know. Let me know what you think. This has all been particularly confusing, but stick around. I got some more videos coming up in a few minutes, and I will see you then.